Let's start the session today about the app management product, which probably you heard about as app lifecycle, events board, or leads board even. So today we will talk about how to drive app growth with the app management product. Um, Before we begin, let's take a look at the agenda of today. We'll start by discussing why lifecycle management is matter and how it plays a critical role in growing your app. Then we'll move on to a live demo of app management product, which we will call from now on AMP. We'll walk you through how to use the tool effectively, and after this, we will cover core elements of lifecycle engagement, focusing on what makes communication impactful and timely. We'll then move into best practices for lifecycle emails, sharing a few tips, actionable tips that can help you connect with your customers and achieve better results. And in the end of the webinar, we'll wrap up with Q&A session to answer your questions and discuss how this tool and these best practices can work for your apps. So let's get started. Today, we're having me as your host. I am Omer, the community manager. And with me, we have Łukasz, the lead developer behind the tool. He'll walk us through on how to install and how to use AMP. Alex, our product marketing manager, who will share best practices of how to drive user engagement and app growth using the AMP. And Daniel, the product manager of AMP, who will share the upcoming plans for the tool. So let's start with why we develop AMP. So we developed the app management product as we understood the needs from you, the developers community. We wanted to help marketplace app owners to better manage their apps and help them, I mean you, to grow and success in the marketplace. So for now, version 1 of the app is relevant mostly for lifecycle management, which we will explain more detail in a moment. So what is app lifecycle? App lifecycle covers the main stages of user's journey from installation, trial, subscription, or uninstalling. All of these are key events in the user journey that can impact user experience, retention, and growth. On the same time, it's giving you, the app developer, transparency about customer's journey, and an ability to react accordingly. Effective lifecycle management can help you build stronger connection with your customers and drive up success. So in this session, we'll focus mainly on the initial part of the journey from install, subscription, and a bit beyond. And I'd like to learn more about how you guys manage your app lifecycle. So just feel free to write in the chat what you do. Okay, so why lifecycle management is important for us as app developers and how it can help our apps growth. So first one, real-time tracking to have full transparency on users' journey. The second is to show value and lead to the aha moment. It helps users understand your app's value quickly. The next one would be build trust. We want to build trust through personalized engagement and communicate with users to show them we, as app developers, understand their needs. The next one would be that we can offer support when users need it the most. We can address questions or obstacles to improve the satisfaction of the customers. We can use it to drive engagement. We can help keep the users engaged with relevant content at the right time. And these elements come together to serve a key purpose, guiding users toward conversion and driving your app's growth. So you're not just engaging users, you're planting the seeds for relationships, building loyalty with customers and help them to better understand how your app can help them achieve their goals. So if you have any questions, drop them in the Q&A, and we'll now go on to Łukasz to start the demo. So Łukasz.
Yeah, thanks, Omer. I think you can stop sharing. I will start sharing my screen. So hi everyone. I'm Łukasz. I'm the lead developer of the AMP project, and more specifically of what we so far delivered, the App Lifecycle Events app. So today during this demo session, I'm gonna share, I'm gonna show the most important features of the App Lifecycle app, and also I will show you how easy to use to start communicating with user. So for the purpose of this demo, I'm gonna put the hat of a Monday app developer who has just developed his first app, which is called Super App. The app is ready, or almost ready, and the only thing that is left to do is I would like to send some emails to users who install my app. So up until now, what I would need to do is to use the webhooks infrastructure, the webhooks feature of Monday development platform. Basically, what webhooks are in one sentence, the Monday platform will send you a request with the event data whenever an app lifecycle event happens in your app. So in order to do that, I would need to develop an endpoint that I will provide here. This endpoint will receive all lifecycle events with their payloads. So I would need to process this event, pick the only one that I'm interested in, the install event, pick the data I'm interested in, and then configure some third-party email provider, which I will use to send the emails. So something like MailChimp or SendGrid, and I would need to integrate with the backend of my application. So everything that it's not a rocket science, but definitely it will take you a couple of hours. And by using the App Lifecycle application, you can achieve the same result without actually writing a single line of code and without also leaving the Monday platform. So now I'm going to show you how to do that. So the first step, as with every app, is to basically install the app. So you can find the link to this application that we developed in the developers community and in the documentation. It can be accessed only directly through this link. You cannot find it in the marketplace. So basically, I will now install the app. The process is the same as with any other app. And to get started, I will choose the workspace when I want to add my app. So I have a dedicated workspace for the management of my super app. And I will add it there. And in a few seconds, the solution that comes with the app gets added to the workspace, and it consists of two left pane items. The first one is the Monday doc, a quick start guide, which explains the key benefits of using it. It has like a getting started step-by-step guide on how to configure and use this solution, basically something that I will cover just in a second. And also it has a list of all the email templates that we prepared and provided for you that come with the solution. So now let's move to the main point, which is the App Lifecycle Events board. So there are like two main parts of this board. First is the board data itself. And the second is a set of pre-made automations that come with this board. So let's start first with the board itself, with the data on the board itself. So first thing you will notice is that we populated the board with some placeholder dummy data. And it's important to say that each item in this board represents a single event that happens to your app, in your app. So yeah, if a user installs and uninstalls your app, it's gonna be 2 items regarding the same user, the same account, but two events, 2 items. Second, the structure of the board represents the columns, represent more or less what you will find in the payload of the webhooks. So first of all, we have the app event column, the status column itself. We have the information about the account that installed your app, about the user, about the monetization, the information about the plan, monetization data if the installation concerns a monetized application. And you will also see here your app ID and your app name. And of course, it's a Monday board, so you are free to add your columns, remove some that you don't need. It's fully customizable. Then let's go to the second main part of this solution, which are the pre-made automations. So the first automation that you need to activate is the one that actually connects the app lifecycle events into your board. So to do that, it's very simple. You open this automation, you pick the app that you choose. If you have multiple apps, you can either create multiple boards, either decide to have a single board with all the events. It's kind of up to you. But if you go with the second option, you would need to duplicate this automation multiple times. So I selected my app and I'm clicking the update automation. And from now on, all the app lifecycle events that happen in my app will get added as new items in the board. The second item is the kind of the default Monday automation for most of the boards, is that you would get notified whenever a new item gets added to this board. So this is basically a nice way to notify you about the new app lifecycle events. If you find it too chatty, you can of course disable it as any other automation. Next, we have a set of 6 pre-made automation with different emails that could be sent on different stages of different moments of your app lifecycle. Alex will cover them in just after me, so I won't get into detail. Maybe I will just show an example of the most basic email that we would like to send. So the welcome email after a user installs your application. So to activate this automation, you would need to connect to your Gmail account. I'm doing it right now. And we populated, so this integration will send the email on the app install event to the user that installed your app. We provided some templates of the emails, but of course you should revisit them and adapt to your needs. Okay, so I have that. And apart from pre-made automations, let's not forget that it's a plain simple Monday board. So you can customize it and you can also add as many automation, custom one, as many as you want. So to give you an example, let's say that I would also want the sales team to be notified when there is a potential lead from an enterprise account. So how will they do that? So I will create an automation that whenever an item gets created and the app event is installed and the account tier is enterprise, I'm gonna notify my sales team. Hey, check out potential lead. And I create this automation. Okay. So with this set of automation, let's see how they work in action. So what I'm going to do now is, because my app, of course, my super app is not yet in the marketplace, but I will use the install by share link to show you how does it work in practice. And app lifecycle events work exactly the same way, regardless if the installation comes from the share link or from the marketplace. So I have another Monday account. I already pasted the share link. I'm clicking install. And if I go back to my events board, I can see that a new item was created, that with all the data about the installation of my app. Yeah, my app is not monetized. That's why I don't see, for example, pricing plan or monetization data. I get a Monday notification about this installation. And thanks to the Gmail integration that I set up, an email was sent to the installer of the app. And here in the update section, I can see exactly what was the email that was sent. All right, I think that's everything that I wanted to share during this quick demo. As we already mentioned multiple times, this is just like a starting point for you that we are giving you. So we encourage everyone to play with it, to customize it. And if you have any questions, drop them in the QA box as well. Thank you.
Łukasz, thank you so much for this great demo. It's super exciting to see this tool and all the potential that it brings app developers in order to help them to improve their communication with customers and how they manage their life cycle. And in the next few minutes, we're going to explore some best practices for effectively engaging users using this AMP tool and the lifecycle emails we included in it. Before that, one of the things that makes this tool like so exciting is the fact that just a few months ago, before it was built, we created this ebook, which I believe you can still find it in our developers community, that shared both technical and business best practices of engaging with users as part of the lifecycle management. And back then, if you wanted to implement this, so as Łukasz mentioned, it's not rocket science, but you still needed to work with the webhooks and connect it to some external service, and basically working in this thing instead of focusing on building your app and providing service to your customers. So happily, this tool takes all the technical hands-on stuff from this process. So as we mentioned, we include a few templates included already in the product, which all of these templates aligned to key events that currently supported by AMP, and we'll overview them in a second. But before that, I'd like to quickly unpack some aspects related to lifecycle emails just to get started. So creating effective lifecycle emails, it's a combination of both art and science, and how well you balance between the two. So the art, it lays in crafting engaging, informative content with clear value proposition, something that will help your users to understand what your app is good for, what it can help them to achieve, and how it can help them proceed with their tasks. The science, it's more about perfecting the timing, the personalization of the email, and more importantly, the effort that you should put in ongoing testing and optimization of the emails that you send, and the impact that they have on customers towards subscription and beyond. Together, these elements help you to drive users to action, to discover the value of the app, this actual, aha moment of understanding its value, and potentially transforming from trial users to paying customers. In lifecycle emails, usually they will include the similar ingredients, which we'll touch in a second. When these ingredients can be included, some of them in one email, some of them will be included in all of them. It really depends on the use case, the specific email, and of course, your product. So the first ingredients are guides and tutorials. It can be short step-by-step instructions, links to support articles, or even walkthrough videos that you recorded just to help users to get started or resolve initial issues of how do I set up the app? What is the first step that I need to do after installing it? Product messaging is the second thing that we need to clearly highlight your app's value proposition and benefits, what it can help us achieve. And finally, a clear offering, something to encourage the users to use certain feature, invite them to schedule a call with you, or even offer trial extension, depends on the part of their journey they're at. But basically, doing the next thing that will drive them to take further steps with your app. And these components all together can ensure that your emails are eventually actionable and effective. Before we move on, if you have any questions during the session, please write them below in the Q&A box, and we'll address everything in our Q&A session in a few minutes. Going back to the templates, before we touch each one of them, there is one rule of thumb that we'll lead with, and it's the fact that eventually there is no one-size-fits-all solution. The meaning is that we provided you with these templates inside the product, but use them wisely. They're there for inspiration. You need to customize them and feed them to your app's unique voice, style, use cases, and considering also the resources that you have. Can you offer demo calls? Do you have demo videos that you can share? Do you have support articles? Eventually, having or not having some of the resources will also dictate how your email sequences are gonna look like. But the really important thing is make it yours. Don't take it as is, but find how you make it unique to your app. Starting with the welcome email, the email that you usually send few minutes after the app is installed or the trial started. In many cases, these two events come together. Usually, you can expect the highest open rate from this email, because at this stage, one, users might still expect to get this type of email. Two, they'll be more eager to learn and consume whatever you'll send their way at this point. And such email can include the highlights of your key features and the value props, the get started instructions, and even the option to reach out for help, asking questions, scheduling a call, and so on. And if you're not sending any lifecycle emails yet, so our recommendation is, and if you're deciding I'm sending just one or just want to wait for the right moment, don't wait. Clear yourself 20 minutes, 30 minutes after the session. Believe me, you'll need much less, and send at least this email. You'll be surprised by the engagement it can create. You might offer support articles, but users would like to go up on a call with you to see a demo, to ask for help with implementation, or to ask other product questions. Don't miss this opportunity. This is it's one email, but it's one email that can, at a very early stage, make a trial user into a paying customer, and it's not something that you would like to miss. Also, don't forget to personalize it. Add the customer's name, their company, sign with your name if you feel comfortable with it. And of course, don't forget to include your app's name in the subject line. You can see here some subject lines for inspiration, just so you'll have a few directions to start experimenting with. Moving on is the trial follow-up email, which usually sent midway through the trial period. It's an email that you can start with a personal manner, asking, so how it goes with the app. Did you try feature X? Did you do Y with the app? It depends on what it enables to do. At this stage, you can still focus on the value props and the business impact as shared in the previous slides, but also sharing testimonials and success stories if you have some of these already in place. Next one is the trial and reminder. Usually it's recommended to send it between 1 to 3 days before the trial ends, and this is the place when we reminding the benefits of the app. In some cases, users didn't upgrade for a few reasons. One reason, maybe they still didn't use the app. This is why we're reminding them of the benefits, but maybe they're not sure how to upgrade. So you can also provide the actual steps of what they need to do in order to upgrade. You can also find it in the templates provided with the app after you install it. And this will be a great place to suggesting to schedule a call with you and potentially offering a trial extension. If the user didn't try your app up until now, maybe they'll need another few days. Maybe they have more team members who potentially will use the app and they want to get exposed to this as well. So they'll need this extra days. But anyway, feel free to add sense of urgency, reminding them you have just 2 days left to enjoy the full benefits of the app, and so on. Make this message strong enough for them to act. Next one is when the trial is ended. But just because the trial is ended, it doesn't mean that the journey with your app has to end as well. you still have the opportunity to convert this user. In your re-engagement with them, you can remind them about the key benefits they experienced in the 2 weeks of the trial. You can offer trial extension. Maybe they didn't have the chance to fully experience the app, or in some cases, if you know that your app might be pricey and price is an issue that occurs from time to time, you can also offer them a discount as an incentive at this point. Also important at this stage is to ensure that you have support available, because if they didn't upgrade it up until this point, they might have some questions. Maybe they'll need help with implementation and so on. So make sure you're available to address this, or you have the relevant resources to share with them. When talking about uninstall event, and of course, all of us hope we won't get to the uninstall and that we'll never see this event appears on our board. But if it happened and it appears, so it can be, of course, a great opportunity to try and revive the user and make them to offer this trial extension and discount as we offered before. But it's also a very awesome opportunity to get interesting insights of why did they upgrade it? Did they use the app? What was challenging for them in the onboarding? What can be done different in support? How we can adjust the pricing to fit customers like yourselves. Like, there are many things that you can learn from them in a conversation at this point, and you'll be surprised at how many users are happy to share this feedback even after uninstalling the app. And whether if you'll do it inside the email or in a conversation, also recommending on other apps from your portfolio. It's something that you can do at this stage. The fact that they didn't convert it to paying users for this specific app doesn't mean that your other apps can't serve them well. And finally, when we have paying users, and this depends also on your app and on the usage patterns, but you can take a few days from the subscription as started and send them a request to rate your app. It's a great opportunity for you to leverage new customers in order to strengthen your social proof on your listing page, because eventually these things also impacts on users the decision to install and pay for an app. Now, before we move on, I would just like to go quickly over some best practices as we gathered from these templates that we just spoke about. So first of all is set a clear goal for each email. Every email should have a purpose, whether it's guiding users to activating a specific feature, instructions on how to upgrade, or a request to provide a feedback. Eventually, an email should have a goal, which after you can consider if this email helped me to want this goal or not. This clear goal ensures that your message eventually focused on something actionable, making it easier for users to know what to do next. 2, make it personal. Use the recipient's name or their company name, username too, if you're comfortable with it. And most importantly, as we mentioned a few times before, please don't use the templates as is. This is not the best practice. Customize it to your app, to your use cases, to your tone of voice. Next, Keep it simple. Users are busy. Overwhelming them with long, complex emails can sometimes backfire. So try and keep your messages concise and focus on the most important details and the next steps. Timing is everything. Make sure to edit automations and emails based on your users' behaviors and key milestones in case you have different subscription. I'm sorry, if you have different trial patterns and so on. And finally, test, learn, and improve. A/B test subject lines, content, and the timing of sending the emails to see what resonates with your audience best. Continuously optimize based on this on the insights that you'll get in order to maximize the impact of these emails. And now we're moving to Daniel to share the next steps of AMP and what you can expect in the coming weeks and months. Daniel, the stage is yours.
Thank you, Alex, and thank you so much to Alex and Łukasz, who have worked really on this solution to make this V1 happen. I want to just tell everyone that really, well, we built this for you, and was really an experiment to see, we said we have this amazing platform that is very customizable and you can build anything on it, which is Monday. And we thought, why not use it to build the platform to manage apps? This is the experiment, the first version to try it out, and your feedback will be what drives us to take it to the next step. So I very much ask everyone to try it out, install it, and give us your feedback, even if you have alternative solutions right now that you use. And I'll walk through some of our thoughts of where we can take it, and really to just open your minds as you try it out, to give you directions of things we would like to hear back from you. So, for example, right now the board is showing events, but we would like in the future to have it create a board which is showing each account. And for each account, it's showing the current state of the account and perhaps the users who are using it in each account. So this would allow to basically create lists for campaigns and things like this in a much easier manner. Another example would be to use some of the other Monday products, such as CRM. I saw a few questions around that, using the more advanced tooling, emails and activities to actually connect all of the activities to a specific account. You can also use other things like Monday Service for managing customer tickets directly connected to your app. Other examples is creating smarter automations using Monday workflows. So we've already seen some of you say, okay, I want more advanced things and automations and like running delays and extracting first names to make it more personal. In addition to that, we perhaps will reflect the app consumption. So if you have a consumption-based app where you're tracking some metric for usage, we can add that. Like I said, create a list of who interacted with the app. One of our current limitations is that it does not bring historical data. So it will only start with the data once you install it going forward. So perhaps we can make it load historical data, add information about the subscription price, and much, much more. These are just some general ideas, and we don't know where we should take it. And your feedback will be really what helps us get laser focused and decide what makes sense. Yeah, so first of all, thank you so much for the alpha users who gave us the amazing feedback to get to this point. And we're very excited to go to the next step.
Yeah, and also visit us in the Slack group in the developers workspace if you have any questions, feedbacks on the on AMP. We'll be there to address it, and of course, we're staying here with you for the Q&A now. Before we move to the Q&A, just also a quick reminder on some other developer community events that we'll have during next month in February. You can find all the details in our community. And before we'll start addressing the Q&A. By the way, you have a link to the channel now shared in the chat by Omer, so you can check it now. And one last thing, please scan this QR code and leave us feedback on this webinar. We want to know and learn from you how we did in order to improve for our next sessions.
Thank you, Łukasz, Alex, Daniel, for making this product from A to Z. Thank you also for doing this webinar, and thank you, community members, for joining us today. This will be available in a few days in our community as a video recording, and looking forward to meet you on the next few sessions we have on the next month. Yeah, thank you all.